I would like to give my testimony of what I went through in the past year and what BioCare Hospital did for me. Last year I was diagnosed in August with cancer that I got from a virus called HPV, or human papillomavirus. It set in on the base of my tongue and I didn't realize anything was wrong. I couldn't feel it. It was on the back side of my tongue. So this sinus drainage I've had before, probably lots of times because of where I live. But it just kept getting worse and worse. It was the worst sinus drainage I ever had in my life. And I was to 3 American doctors before and there were all different ones, before the third one finally told me. He said, "Jerry, I'd like to see down the back of your throat, but I have no way of doing that." So he said, "I'm going to send you to an ear, nose, and throat specialist." I said, "Okay, that's fine." So he sent me to the specialist. I got my appointment, and amazing enough, I got in very quickly. They had an opening, and I got in very quickly. So after going to him, and he said he didn't like what he saw when he went down my nose into the back of my throat. He saw a tumor. And he immediately sent me to get X-ray and CAT scan of the tumor. And then they also checked it and did a biopsy, and it was indeed cancer. And it also was stage 3 because my neck had swelled up in my lymph node in the time being. And which is a normal thing. The lymph node swells up when you get a virus or something like that, and then it goes back down. It actually flushes the toxins out. It's a system to flush it out, but this did not go down. It stayed up. So they did a biopsy there also, and it was stage 3. It had cancer going to the lymph nodes. So I wanted to get a second opinion to see what's best for me. And I remember the doctor telling me that he didn't want me to go to a local hospital because they had too much turnover in oncology. So I felt good that he said that part. So I had found out about a hospital here in Mexico called BioCare from a pastor named Lindsey Williams. He does DVDs and puts them on the internet, and you can buy them. Many years prior to this, and I'm so thankful I did. I thank God for that, because I came to BioCare for my second opinion, and then I ended up staying right away and getting a 3-week or 21-day treatment plan while I was here. And it was the best thing I could have ever did in my life, because after I left here and I went back because I had to have chemo and radiation, they gave me hypothermia here at BioCare, 2 rounds of hypothermia in those 3 weeks. And plus I got a lot of other things that they do for you here, vitamins and minerals every day, and hyperbaric chamber. You have access to the sauna anytime you want, and ozone therapy. So many things. I don't understand why America doesn't do it, but that's beside the point. But it changed my life. The people were here were so nice. So I went back after the 3 weeks to America and went to American Hospital to get my chemo and radiation. I went to Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York City to finish out my treatment. And they did all the tests up there, found everything out. had a panel of 17 doctors decide what would be the best for me, and it was definitely chemo and radiation. I had 35 treatments of high dosage radiation to the neck and head, surrounding mostly the neck, but also 2 doses of chemo in the beginning, 2 doses of chemo 2 days in a row in the middle, and the same on the end. So I had 6 chemo treatments, and they were high dosage. And I remember the doctors telling me, both the radiation oncologist and my regular oncology doctor, the main doctor, telling me that you're gonna not want to be going home after the first week. And if you do make it home after the first week, you're surely not going home after the second, because you won't feel like it. So till you leave there, you're like, oh, this doesn't sound so good. And I talked to many other people that had this same thing that I had up there while I was getting my treatments, and saw them, and they didn't look too good. And I remember they asked me several times, week by week, how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the worst. I said, 0. You feel like 0, that's great. So week 2 comes, ask again. I said 0. 0, that's great. Really? Yes. So we were going home this whole time on the weekends, because they only do Monday through Friday. So to make a long story on all this short, up to week 7, the 35 treatments, at the end they asked me what my pain would be from 1 to 10. And they said 0, right? I said, correct, 0. So I never had 1 ounce of pain, and I never got sick. It was just truly amazing. And I remember Dr. Romero here was my doctor, and she told me, Jerry, don't forget what you're getting here will do you tremendously if you have to get chemo and radiation. And she was spot on. It was so amazing that the doctors were amazed. I was told by 2 different ones that I was in the 2%, maybe 1% bracket. And after the doctor went out the door, I was told by someone in the room, they whispered to me and said, Jerry, I think you're the top to ever come out of here. No pain, no sickness is just incredible. And so, I mean, it was a good hospital. They were real good. But I have to give the part of not getting sick and not having any pain and getting my immune system boosted up, like Pastor Lindsey Williams told me I should do before I even think about starting that. It was the best decision that me and my family had ever made. And I want to thank everybody at BioCare. Everybody is just awesome here. It's not even, it doesn't even remind you of a hospital, because it's just amazing. The food is organic, and everything they do for you is beyond belief. And I would highly recommend to anyone that needs to go through any of this, or even just to get your immune system boosted up. It's the best thing, hands down, you could ever do in your entire life. And I'd like to thank BioCare once again, and everybody that works here, for what they did for me and my family. Thank you.